So for a while now I've wanted to bring my Savage 110 Elite Precision to the table just to show it off and talk about my experience with it so far in the first about 200 rounds or so, maybe slightly past 200 rounds at this point. My rifle happens to be chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor, which gets a lot of love and hate. I particularly like it. I think it's great, especially for shooting match ammo. This comes in the MDT ACC chassis, which is usually a very expensive chassis, has lots of gears and gadgets on it, and everything you're looking at there makes sense and has a purpose, especially for somebody like me. I'm 6'5", I shoot in the summer and the winter, wearing lots of different articles of clothing, and I need something that has lots of adjustability, which this does have. Starting with the cheek riser here, there's two knobs which just keep everything tight. That's one thing I love about MDT, is everything is tight, tolerances are fantastic, and that gets it out of the way so you can clean the barrel and then right back up, and you have numerical indicators inside there. Those numerical indicators help you with not having to guess where you used to have it. You want it the same place every time, you want to have that same comfortable feeling with your rifle, and that just helps you get it right back to where it was. Very functional. It has a cheek piece that goes left or right. You can hover it left or right a little bit with some adjustment, and I just left it factory setting right there, which is a little bit to the right. Helps me get straight behind that optic without canting my head too much. On the shoulder piece here, so the recoil pad, the butt pad, it goes up and down, and if you were running like high rings or something, that would be very functional for me. I like it right there. It gets a nice straight back recoil to my shoulder. And then if you need the length of pull adjustment, which I actually didn't, this is the first chassis I've not needed any. This was fantastic. Fit perfectly, but it's very easy to use, and it's got good tolerances, doesn't get shaky or wobbly. You've got QDs there, but the front of the chassis does not have QDs, so you would have to add something up front. On the bottom you have an M-LOK slot for something like, well, this. What I have right here is the JKL Precision Bag Rider, which is made for this chassis. It's just a 3D printed deal. I probably would have gone with a heavier one if I had thought about it more, just to weigh the rifle down. It weighs about 18 pounds as it is, but I like the 3D printed one here. It's very affordable. It's actually pretty nice. They did a good job in producing it. I don't have any complaints about it. Fits just how it should, and it helps keep that rifle recoiling flat and straight back on the bag. So it does its purpose. That's one addition I've made to the rifle system. You can see there, nice flat recoil pattern, straight back just the way you want it for consistency. The MDT grip, I really like that. It's adjustable in multiple directions and ways, and you see I have just a minor cant on it so that I can also pull it back a little bit and get the proper length between my thumb and my trigger finger, get the right length of pull in some ways. That really did a lot for me. I like that quite a bit. I wish it was on my other rifles. The bolt and the magazine release were both not the smoothest, to be honest with you. That's an AICS pattern magazine for 6.5, and it wasn't the smoothest. I had to break it in. Definitely fit really tight. Now it's doing pretty well, but I always have to give it a little tap on the bottom, get it seat properly. And Savage, you know, it just has, some bolts are smooth and some are not as smooth. This one's not as smooth with that coating. It's a really big, long operation. If you take a look at this, I mean, it's a long rifle, it's a long chassis, and I really like that chassis, man, especially because it has so much configurable options, or so many configurable options on it, especially the ARCA rail, which is integral to the chassis. That's my favorite part of it. I'm running a Wiser Precision adapter on here so that my Picatinny Atlas can connect right to it, and I can take that off because it has a QD, or I can keep it on this Wiser Precision adapter, this ARCA adapter. And if you're doing the gun game thing, or PRS or NRL competitions, this allows you to make use of a really small space like that right there, just inches away, and it's actually balanced. It's right in the middle, right where the balance point is. That's pretty awesome. Really like this rifle. Like I said, it weighs about 18 pounds right now. I'll probably throw some more weights on it, but I like that I can space that out too and get really far out there, lots of extension on that bipod. So the muzzle brake or compensator or whatever it's supposed to be, you tell me down in the comments. This thing right here works fantastic. It does compensate, and it does send a lot of air to the side. That's what the guys next to me when I'm shooting tell me. But it's a double chamber, and it works well. I'm happy it came with the rifle. I don't believe it does in the Magnum calibers. So here's what I'm going to tell you, because people want to know about, you know, accuracy. So it functions well. The action, yeah, it's a Savage action. The extraction, you know what? I know some 6.5 produced rifles from Savage had issues, especially this model, the 110 Elite Precision, but mine didn't at all. In the first 200 rounds, no extraction issues, no loading issues per se, other than the fact that it wasn't super smooth and I needed to make sure I had the bolt going straight back and straight in. Not really that big of a deal. You can see sometimes it really flicks them out too. So that's one issue some people ask about. Moving on from that though, the barrel contour. I don't think it vibrates a lot, it doesn't hop a lot, it's a very heavy rifle. I think they could have done a thicker, heavier contour on that barrel, and I would have liked to see that, honestly. But the stainless adds a little bit of rigidity, is what the scientists tell us anyways. I haven't done a comparison video to see a regular carbon barrel versus the stainless, but it seems like it. It seems like it doesn't whip or give me any issues with that. The accuracy or the precision, the repeatability of the system, I'm only shooting match ammo, and I'm going to tell you guys, out to 625 yards, I've had really, really good minute of angle accuracy on paper, and so that's, you know, I'm not going to complain about that. And closer, I often see half MOA, again using match ammo. Right now I'm shooting this American Eagle 120 grain open tip match, and that has done really, really well. Actually, I was seeing around 3/8 inch groups at 200 yards with that, which is just phenomenal. I have not had a rifle that produced groups like that except for my other Savage. So accuracy-wise, or precision-wise, accuracy potential is definitely there. It's going to be up to you and whether you want to hand load to see an increase in that. For me, I'm real happy just shooting match ammo. And just like you saw at the beginning of the video, I've taken it out past 1,000 yards and had really good success with this whole thing. Every component on here just seems super solid, very beefy, a little bit overbuilt, and just the way that I like it myself. If you have any questions about my rifle, the way I have it set up, the way I use it, my optics, or anything that you see set up right there, go ahead and drop a comment or a question down below, and I'll try to get to you pretty soon here. I do plan to have a follow-up video. Perhaps after my first PRS match, I'll come back and give you some of my opinions with it. This is really marketed as a PRS entry-level rifle to some degree, but to be honest with you, I've shot with a lot of guys in their PRS rifles, and this is doing really, really well. In fact, the ACC chassis is often used by people with some pretty much top-end rigs, and so I have no problem with the chassis. The action and the barrel, I think it holds up to a lot of the competition out there that's, you know, hand loaders and match grade barrels that are being hand turned in-house by some custom operation. I know they're supposed to be the best in the world, but I'm going to be honest with you, when I shoot side by side with them at the range, I don't see a big difference between what I'm doing right now and theirs, other than the fact that their rifles usually weigh a lot more and it's a lot more steady. That's one thing I can give to them. Their rifle weighing around 23 or 24 pounds definitely seems to do a little better with that. But for me, I'm very happy with this rifle. Loaded in at about 18 pounds as you see it. It doesn't move around. It shoots match ammo very, very well. And it'll at least get me to a little over 1,000 yards, which just, I don't know, that just puts a smile on my face. So I'm going to go ahead and give it the thumbs up so far, but I'll try to get back to you guys with a higher round count review in the future. For now, just enjoy this.